Media, and we're back with another clip about relationships. Today, we're looking at a channel. It's called Just Pearly Things, and Just Pearly Things. Shout out to Pearl. She hosts a show in the UK. So we're going to take a look at a different country here. But I think the reason why I wanted to shoot this is because there is a movement as far as people wanting to look outwards in other countries. Look, we got to address this at some point. But I think this is a good introduction to it because, like I said, Just Pearly Things it takes place in the UK. Now, interesting enough, she's actually not in this clip. I think she may have been out of the country or doing something else. But we have a different host today. But we're going to go ahead and get this started. But like I said, I wanted to highlight this because it literally takes place in a different country. So this may be something that maybe we can learn something from this that is not present here in the U.S. So let's go ahead and have the conversation and see where we're at. Let's see.
Been the most loyal.
Whoop. Yeah, there. Okay. There. All right. Good. We got audio and playback. All right, let's go.
With a whole divestment movement.
With the whole wall.
Okay, so immediately right off the bat, we're jumping right in. He's talking about divestment. Basically, that's men and women who are seeking outside of their race for dating options. And there's also oftentimes there's a negative connotation with it. Is that well, I'm going outside my race because everything in my race is well. Let's go ahead. Maybe he'll explain it.
Divestment, because and that's actually a good point. There's a movement pretty much on social media called divestors, and they're basically black women that are like, we're done with black men are trash, we're gonna go and get us some non-black men, let's open our options, we don't need black men, they're dogs, they're trash, they're weak, they're lazy, they're broke, they're that like they're not just doing it, but they have to trash black men on the way out.
Okay, yeah, that's a great definition, but it also should be noted that it's not just women that do this. So we're gonna hold some men accountable here as well.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like with a lot of vile venom. Like, do you get what I'm saying? So, what do you lot think about that? Have you lot ever come across any women that pertain to that kind of way of thinking?
No,
That way of thinking is trash, by the way.
Yeah, it is trash.
Notice right off the bat that they haven't come in contact. Look, me personally, I've never noticed it in my real life either. But it also is something to be said that if a woman was looking to date outside her race, I mean, how would I come in contact with that? She's not checking for me anyway. So I mean, I don't know. I guess that's one of the things that comes with social media. Your eyes get open to all different walks of life, different types of people. So.
Trash, but there's a lot of men that kind of do that. So why are you guys surprised when a woman does it?
Oh, I'm not surprised.
That in general, like, why is everyone surprised when a woman group does it? But it consistently happens in.
On one hand, yeah, she's right because, like I said, I already said that. But the other thing that I would be concerned about is that she didn't really answer the question. She just immediately put the blame on men and said, "Well, men do it too." Gender war 101, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, put it off on the opposite gender, and we can argue about it back and forth about instead of actually peeling back the layer and having a high level conversation where we get down to what's actually going on. Gender war 101. Yep.
Men community.
The one thing.
More ads.
There are lots
Yay!
of moments that make home sweet home.
Skip.
I will say, again, I'm gonna tell you lot, get the likes up on the video. I'm gonna say some real ish right now. Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
The reality of that and why it's kind of like I don't think black guys really find it serious with this whole divestment thing, because just like the young lady said, and she was a black woman, she said it herself, black women, unfortunately, unfairly, or however you want to look at it, are not seen as the standard of beauty. They're not. So to have a movement where you're trying to gravitate to men who have deliberately made sure you're not the standard of beauty and try to use them as a weapon or some kind of, oh yeah, look, they want us and you lot don't want us, is kind of ridiculous at the end of the day. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they have reinforced this idea. All these stereotypes that we're talking about that black women have been reinforced by non-black media. Do you get what I'm saying? The non-black media has propped up the blonde, blue eyes woman as the standard of beauty. So, like, to come back and then say, "Oh yeah, no, we can get men outside." Like, really, can you really though? Really?
That beauty standard though, is that just a curse of living in the West?
Yeah, that is.
I think that beauty standards across the world, to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
It's across the world, bro.
I
No,
think it's
I
changed.
don't know how many African people, countries, whatever. How many people do we know back home that are still bleaching their skin and
I think
it's
a curse
doing
of the
these
West,
things?
though.
It is a curse
Spread.
of the West.
It is,
but
it is,
it's
but
through-
it is there.
It's embedded.
Okay, the reason why I haven't said anything is because I've heard all of these talking points before. Again, YouTube talking points, right? What I haven't heard is what makes this channel so in particular is because, again, Just Pearly Things she's in the EU. So I'm kind of interested to see how, on the other side of the world, how people handle these topics. So I just want to get some more information. Don't worry. I'm going to address some stuff in a second.
Bro,
Yeah.
they're bleaching their skin in the Caribbean islands. They're bleaching their skin in the African continent. That says it all. We're not even talking about UK and USA.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. But I don't know.
It's a
I don't
tough
think
one, but you have to. It is.
It's
No, I get it.
deep-rooted.
That happens, but I'm not gonna lie. You go to Africa, and I'm speaking specifically even with Angolans. Like, the Angolan black woman is beautiful, and actually she's quite praised. Go to South Africa as well. Like, a lot of the because obviously they still they still have a race issues, but a lot of like adverts and a lot of these things actually feature very beautiful black women. I think, obviously, when you are in the West and you're out of your home, you are going to stand out like a soul. Feminine is not always going to be in a good way. Go back home. Go to your country of origin or whatever. Just experience it for 1 week, and you'll see how your life will change.
I agree. I
Also-
think a lot of times when I've heard black women
That's a good
complain
point.
and say, "Oh yeah, these black guys, they don't want us, they don't like black women, blah blah blah." I'm like, bro, okay, maybe you should go to a black country then. If you really do want to be with a black man, you can. If you really want to.
I think we just heard a possible solution for a potential problem or potential issue. I'm interested to see where this goes, because again, we've got a possible solution here, so that should not be overlooked.
Do you get what I'm saying? But like,
Can I say-
and then it comes to dating requirements. Oh, are you only trying to go after guys that are over 6 foot? Are you trying to only go after guys that are making six figures? Are you only, because then you're kind of narrowing down your market and your potential.
Can I
True.
say something?
Go on.
So basically, like, about back to the beauty standards, like, a lot of white women are now adopting black women features, like the big lips, the big bum, the big, like, the hourglass shape. So how can we say that
The
it's
back.
the back off? How can we say
Bare
that
Instagram.
Another YouTube talking point, again, gender wars 101. It's well, it may not necessarily be the gender wars 101, but I've heard this talking point so many times. Everyone's trying to be like us, so we should be praised. We should be at the top of the list.
Workout,
address
bro.
it.
Every time I have to train somebody, I want a big butt. Like, come on, bruv. Like, what
all
about
about the bunda.
the whole body, bruv? Like, you get me? But anyway, go on.
Yeah, so how can we say that the beauty standard is still blonde, white, blue eyes? Because all these white women are adopting these ethnic women, like, features.
Yeah,
but
you're
that's
gone.
but that's now, and that's only through social media. Like, if we're talking about Western
Big up
beauty
Kanye.
standards, that's happened through colonization. It's happened through us coming here because we can't have a life now in our country when we were fine before anybody walked in. Like, these are things that have been so deep rooted for centuries, that have, like, been drilled into people's minds. Like, people's bloodlines have been diluted because the white man has come into your land, and
It's time to take the
More
next leap in
ads,
Wi-Fi.
yay!
Introducing Orbi.
Yeah, the ads are gonna be gone soon.
done
I
what
promise.
he's done. And on top of that, like, it's just crazy. Like, I think yes, now we know we're seeing, but all of this stuff is all celebrity stuff. It's not common people stuff. Like, common people stuff is real trauma. It's real, like, generational pain that your bloodline has gone through that you might be able to connect with and understand. All this, going to get lipo and BBL and you need to want to make your lips bigger.
And at the end of the day, there's black women that are doing BBLs. So then it kind of defeats the whole thing.
Exactly.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Man has a point there. Plastic surgery is not a race issue. You can see it across all all races.
It's not about the body type necessarily that we're discussing. Is the
No,
skin
but
tone.
because Iman was talking about non-black women trying to basically emulate black women, but then if black women are going to do BBLs, who are they emulating?
No, they just emulating.
You're emulating myself.
The ultimate.
He has a point there. And this conversation is not really. It has its high points, but there's not really. I'm not sure I would describe this as a high level conversation. It has its good points, but it's a lot of gender war stuff going on here. So it's something to take note of, because then you know how to avoid people when they want to start talking about this stuff.
So.
That's so mad.
Listen,
Listen, you lot are tapped. That's it. Let me move on. Let me move on. All right, big up Daniel for the super chat. Good show, King, as always. Big up.
Okay, they're moving on, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here. Go ahead and check out Just Pearly Things. The show that she hosts is called The Pregame. Now, we did get some interesting topics here, or interesting discussions. I don't know if I would label this a high level conversation, because like I said, a lot of this stuff is rooted in the gender war. But again, the whole divestment thing is apparently starting to become a thing on YouTube. So I don't know how real it is in real life. But they did offer. But some good news is that we did get a possible solution. If you're tired of the options where you are, it may be time to move. Now, here's my thoughts on this. Because passport bros is a real thing. Women divesting, that's becoming an issue too. My thing is that you need to go where you're appreciated, and by that I mean that just like that. If it's other races or who are appreciating you as a man, you should definitely do that, because you have to be the pursuer out there. In most cases, women want a guy who's going to pursue them, who's going to approach them. Very rarely are women approaching men in mass. That's just not happening. So as a man, you need to go where you're appreciated. Now the caveat is that if, let's say you're a black man and you want to date outside your race, that's, if you're not being appreciated by black women, then yeah, you should do that. Take your talents elsewhere. But the question that you definitely need to address is why is it that your own people are not interested in you? Because that should be the forethought or a thought that's in the back of your mind. At some point, you're going to need to address that, because there's an issue there that's going on. In most cases, people of their own race, we tend to stick with each other, particularly as you go higher up the economic scale. That you see a lot more of that. So why is it that the people of your own race they're not rocking with you? You need to address that issue, because I guarantee you it's going to come up at some point. It's going to follow you. If there's something there that says that if you're a black man and black women are just not interested in pursuing any kind of a meaningful relationship with you, chances are it's not a race issue. Chances are it's there's something going on with you, and you need to address it through therapy, whatever. It doesn't matter. But the point is that you need to start working your stuff out. Now, they did talk about the issue of a possible solution is that you go back to where you came from. Now this is not as prevalent in the U.S. because most of us we were born here, and it's just where we are. But it's interesting to hear, like I said, a different perspective from people in another country. Obviously, in the EU, there's more of a melting pot, so that may be a possible solution. Again, it's just like your salad bar. I say this all the time. take what you want, leave the rest. Because like I said, this wasn't as much as a high-level conversation, but I wanted to highlight the fact that we got a possible solution. And believe it or not, you know, I'm all about that. Because again, at the end of the day, we've got to work together. We're better together than we are apart, and there are too many issues that are facing humanity to where it's not time to start picking and choosing. Oh, and you know what? Before I end this, I do want to address the one other thing there, because that's a big part of it's a big YouTube talking point, is when black women in particular say, well, they're trying to be like me, they having all these features, they got big lips and all this other stuff. Okay, if that's the case, where are the results? What I mean by that is, over here, we keep track of things through marriage. I don't care who you're dating. I don't care how many DMs you got, how many guys propose to you. Marriage is the goal. So my thing is this. Let's just have some accountability here, okay? You can say that, and yeah, and they want to look like us and everything else. I get that. But where are the results? If that's the case, where are the marriages? Why is it that it's a rhetorical question though, but why is it that we're the least married people? I think that in the U.S., and I think we're going to have to start addressing, because this applies to black men too, because I hear this all the time about, well, they're stealing our culture and everything else. Okay, so why are we the least married? We got to start. Now, that itself is a high-level conversation. If I can find a clip, or if you guys know a clip that's starting to point that stuff out, send it to me, because I'll be glad to sit that down, because that's a legitimate question for me. So why if everybody's trying to copy us, why are we the least married? But that's a question for another time. You know, we're going to go ahead and end this video here. Again, check out Just Pearly Things. Guys, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you made it to the end of this video, hey, I appreciate you for rocking with me. But I'm going to stay ghost to the next time. Oh, and check out this other video I got coming up in the playlist. Yeah. Peace, guys.